Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. I am RoyalMixGaming, and in today's video we're going to go over some reports for Jan Zizka and some of the pairs that I've seen used with him and kind of what I'm thinking the best pair would be for him for Garrison. We're going to go over just some of the reports, kind of give you my own thoughts on them, and then we're going to go ahead and give my overall review of the commander himself and who should be maxing him, who shouldn't even worry about him, and things like that. So for some of these reports, they're all going to be Ark of Osiris reports, so take them with like kind of a grain of salt. Obviously when the new KVK is going to come out in the next week or so, I think 846 and 1093 are supposed to be battling each other in the next week or so. So we'll go ahead and see if that's going to be one of the garrisons that they're going to go ahead and use. If I can try and stream it, I will. If I can't, just can't. But we'll go ahead and glance at these reports and see kind of what we think of this commander. So most of these reports are going to be Jan Zizka primary, and then it's going to be Jadwiga, Nevsky, things like that secondary. May have some where Jadwiga is primary, but they'll be on a separate account that we'll go ahead and look at after this. So this is one of the first reports, Tila Nevsky versus Jan Zizka Jadwiga. Jadwiga and Jan Zizka win with these troop buffs. We have them both maxed, obviously. Iconics, obviously, I think that there's a little bit of weirdness going on with the all damage because this is Ark of Osiris. I don't think you can have the buffs from Crystal Tech, so I'm not sure what's going on here because this is a Ark of Osiris battle, as you can see. So from what I can see though, it's still going to win, but for some reason the report's a little bit weird because we're in KVK, but there shouldn't be any buffs from Crystal Tech in here, so we're going to go ahead and look at Jan Zizka and Jadwiga versus Henry and Boudica. I would definitely put Boudica first for this, but this is just a different type of rally, and it's a very even rally. We're going to go ahead and look at the troop buffs. Obviously, the cav health is on point here for this rally, or the garrison. I would say the archer stats are probably pretty decent as well. Iconics all around. There's a little bit of an advantage for the rally since there's an all damage at 5%. This one's more what you would see normally. I'm not sure why that other report's a little bit different. It might just be bugs. It may just be something else. But this is kind of what you're going to see here. And it's pretty good for Boudica and Henry. I would say that the rallies, obviously, like I was saying, has a little bit of a buff because it's got more all damage. Another report with XY Nev versus Jan Zizka and Nevsky. They end up losing this trade, but there is probably difference in gear here, maybe a little bit, or all damage, but I'm not seeing anything here, so this is basically what it's going to look like. You can also think that the XY Nev just free hitting is a little bit better and also has a little bit more troops, but overall still a positive report for the XY Nevsky. And those are the reports that I have from some Ark of Osiris battles, and we'll go ahead and swap to my other account where there's a little bit more detailed reports on a different account. So we're on my second account here that has some reports for Jan Zizka and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and go to the top here and go ahead and scroll through the reports that these guys did in 2293 compared to what the Kingdom 2000 players did. I think there's probably more reports that the Kingdom 2000 players had, but not everybody's in the rallies, not everybody's in the fortresses and things like that, so take these with a grain of salt as well. So we have Maury and Ginger doing this rally here with Boudica, Henry, which is more what I would see because, calves should be archers, so I'd say this is probably more accurate results of what you're going to see, where Jan Zizka and Nevsky are probably going to punish the rally pretty hard. The garrison does have a little bit probably better stats, I would say, overall with the all damage and things like that compared to the rally. So this would probably be a little bit closer if you had the same stats and rally gear and things like that for that report. We have another one where it's run back the same rally, same garrison, all that kind of stuff. It's much closer. I would say it's just, RNG and things like that from all the different skills that are going on here. We have a baseline where it's Jadwiga and YSS versus the same rally, and they still win, which is pretty good. So you know that calves should counter archers. That's kind of the thing. So we're going to run Jadwiga and Jan Zizka. They also win here, which is beating the archers, which is a pretty telling tale that you should be archers. I think running Boudica and Henry is going to be a little bit more difficult once you are going against Cav now. And then we have a Pakal Herald versus this Jadwiga and YSS. It's a pretty close battle, as you can see. Obviously, I think that when you're doing Jadwiga and YSS, and then you're also doing Pakal and Herald, it's going to be an even report pretty much all the way around. Because Pakal Herald's more of just a tank rally to get you an even trade, and just basically kill troops off. So we have it ran again. Honestly, this one won a little bit more because Jan Zizka has more skill damage than YSS does, which is why this one did so much better than the previous Garrison Report. And then we have a couple more here that we're going to go ahead and go through. We have Jadwiga and YSS versus XY Nev. I think that this one is pretty accurate because XY Nev does beat Jadwiga YSS pretty hard, simply because skill damage is just so high. And we have it ran back again with Jadwiga and Jan Zizka. They also lose. I think that doing Jan Zizka primary with probably like Nevsky secondary is probably going to be one of the better garrisons here. I think that's simply because it's such high skill damage to the current target. It's going to be so much harder to keep the rally full that you're going to get a better trade if you can keep it topped off with full cavalry. Obviously, you can try and do Jan Zizka and maybe YSS and see how that goes. But I think it's obviously going to be very similar to Jadwiga and YSS, like basically the same kind of report. It's not going to be much better than that. I think overall for Jan Zizka, I think the only people that should be maxing him is basically the people that want a slightly better Jadwiga, so that you can pair that with Nevsky, maybe YSS, but I would be very cautious on doing something like that because I think Jadwiga would do better than Jan Zizka with a mixed troop garrison, a little bit of mixed troops. So, hope you guys learned some more from these reports and things like that. Like I was saying, 846, 1093, I believe, are supposed to be battling in the next week or so. So we'll go ahead and try and see if we can't grab some of the live KVK reports from that. Maybe do a live stream, some things like that. So, hope you guys learned some more about Jan Zizka in this video. Some of the reports were pretty interesting, I felt, because it gives you kind of an insight that they are pretty similar to what Jadwiga is going to do, but they are slightly better depending on what commanders you use with him. So thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because there'll be more content on these new cavalry commanders as we get more information. So I'll see you guys on the next one.